Well, a very good evening to you from wherever you are watching us from. Thank you so much for sticking with us. My name is Aguko, and this is Power Talk, the best place to be each and every Thursday evening right here on your #1 youth station. Y254 TV is where you need to be each and every Thursday. And of course, a repeat of this show airs again every Friday at noon. Thank you so much for sticking with us on this particular program. Tonight, we want to talk about creatives. How creative can you be? And as we talk about matters concerning creative, we want to talk about creative expression in a digital world. Okay? Just points to note. Even as we discuss some of these things, you can get some tips here and there, and you can maybe use them for your own purpose. Today, ladies and gentlemen, to help us in this particular conversation on Power Talk, to my far right, I am with Abdulrazak Ngutia. He's a producer and presenter. And next to him, you can see on your screen, BmixxKE. He's a musician, an artist, a producer, brand ambassador. Name them. Karibuni sana, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for coming. Let me start with you, Bmixx. Let's tell us a bit more about what you do, because I think nimetaja tu mambo machache. There are so many things that you do.
My name is BmixxKE, confirming. I'm an artist, an actor, and also an executive producer for a show called The Breakdown 254. It's a show where an artist comes to the show, they break down the lyrics to the song, how it came about, what inspired their writing process, what they were thinking as they were writing the song. So it's kind of like behind the scenes on the lyrics. And I'm also a brand ambassador to Noah Distributors. Noah Distributors is a distribution company that deals with the apparels, and they also do distribute acharis, and they also have a leasing company on bikes and quite a couple of things. They also do distribution. And kama unahama na unataka msio kukuhamia kukubebeshia vitu, that's the guy. Yes.
And the bike issues?
Badon, yeah. He has a place in Lukenya where you can lease a bike for 1 hour for 100 shillings. And you just enjoy. And then the whole place, uko, kuna tarmac. And then there's that scenery flani that's just epic. Mazebra unapatanga saa zingine zikipita-pita. Wild animals.
It's recreation.
It's for recreation. Yeah.
Okay. Abdulrazak, let me come to you and what you do.
Yeah. Firstly, I'm Abdulrazak Ngutia. I'm almost stammering my name because I'm really inspired by the things that this gentleman is doing. I really, really appreciate meeting him right now. It's just very fascinating. So one of the things I do, I'm a TV presenter, producer, screenwriter. I also compose instrumental music for backgrounds, for YouTube background music, as well as YouTube intros and movie scores as well. I do 3D modeling and animation, and I also design bespoke leather bags. That's basically all about me in a nutshell.
Wow. So it's all about being creative today on Power Talk. Talk about diversity, man. So we will showcase what you guys do. Sindio?
Yes.
For you, your music.
Yes.
And for you, your 3D animations.
Yes.
And we will display them right here on Power Talk, so that when you are at home, you don't say, you know what, there are no jobs. No, jobs are there. You can create yourself. You can create one for yourself. Just be creative, right? And let me pick it up from that particular point. BmixxKE.
Yes.
We talk about music, for example. And for you, Abdulrazak, we'll talk about 3D.
Yes.
I know it's been a while since we were on the same set.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Many years.
Very many years. I think this is the 4th year since.
This is the 4th year since. And even as we discuss this, I want you guys to also share your own experiences. Okay? Now, for music, do you feel like we need more creativity in terms of our content, in terms of how we showcase our pieces of art? I call it art. Pieces of art for music. Do you feel like we need more creativity? Why aren't we as Kenyans being seen out there?
Well, let me answer those two differently. One, I think, yes, artists need to add a little bit of creativity, especially in the marketing campaigns, because there's been an upsurge of upcoming artists. Tuko wengi, umerealized wametokea wengi, but most of them don't know how to market their songs. You know, the thing is, in music, you need to look at music as a business. And as a business, you have to learn how to market your business. So unapatanga wasanii ataenda tengia kwa studio, a record, akishamaliza arusha kwa YouTube, and that's it. Aongoje, magically something happened. Anasema because I believe the content is good, the content is actually really good. But ukipost tu pale YouTube na ukaitu hivyo and they do nothing else, it's just going to stay there.
And that's the problem for many people who are actually creatives. You post something on YouTube, online, or TikTok, and you leave it there.
And then you just leave it there. You have to have strategies on how to push your music videos. Like, nasi ile tu kuspam guys every time ukiwaambia out now. Unajua kuna ile unapatanga msanii mwenye ameenda a step further, amejaribu wako na a good cover art. Kila time anapost tu out now. Out now. Just the same cover art every time unaangalia pale kwa Instagram amepost mara 8. You have to have creative ways of telling guys to go watch the same thing. Unaona? You have to come up with different ideas to market the same thing. Juju ni gani nditanesh. Unaweza kaka hivi uone you made a video, a TikTok video on the same song, ulikapata haya hakakusonga. Lakini uli make something different on Instagram. Na waseni kama walipenda. Unacheki because it's a different way of expressing the same thing.
I would like to interject to that one, may I? You see, when it comes to music and marketing music, there are a few things that I learned that are really intriguing about why Kenyan music is performing the way it is performing, or how noob musicians actually get to never hit what they want or to get up to the way they want. Firstly, many people, when they're marketing their music, they want to attract attention to the music itself. I think that it should actually be done in a totally different way.
How?
People are actually supposed to use that music to attract attention to themselves.
Yes.
Not attention to the music, because there is so much music production that's going on. So many people are coming up with songs. I was talking to an older gentleman last year, and he told me that, you know what, everyone's doing music, so what's going to make you stand out? What's going to make you stand out is yourself. So use the music to attract attention to yourself. Then do consistency. Music is like inviting people to a party. Release a link from on your online platforms. Share them to as many people as possible. Ask them to come to your personal social media handles. And then after you've done that, then make sure that your social media actually has something that people will see.
Something that guys can see and engage in.
Exactly.
It's to just blank, and then it has to be something intriguing. Ile design yenyewe. Guys, when they come to look at your socials, wasione tu it's just a blur.
Yeah.
You have to have some sort of
It's so boring.
It's
so boring.
Just
there.
It's just there. You have to have a way umejipresent. Ile design yenyewe msee akiangalia venye msanii amejipresent anakuwa intrigued, anataka kuno more, anataka follow the journey.
But then I wonder, where does creativity come in? You mentioned something that has made me want to...
Where does the creativity come in?
Yeah, because you're saying, let the music attract
attention
people
to the musician.
to you
Yes.
as a musician.
Yes.
And I will not stick to music only, even if it is art, any form of poetry.
Yeah.
Let that piece of art attract people to you.
Yeah.
Then do we just do things for the sake of what is trending, for me to get at the numbers and the likes? Where does creativity come in now?
Well, I wouldn't say you do your creative art for the numbers, but the numbers, if they come, it's a plus. But for you to have that element of creativity, you have to add your personality into your creative art. That's what inaifanya inakuwa different from somebody else's, because kuna that sort of personality. You have a personality, he has a personality, I have a personality. And then in the process of creating your art, you have to also brand your image. Unaona? In the process of branding your image, you have to be creative in how you're doing it, because there's a lot of artist huko nje, kila mtu anafikiria the same thing. You have to be creative in how you're branding your stuff. Ile design yenye msaki akiangalia anakuwa interested hapo. I feel I relate. No, at this point you need to be targeting, like for me in my instance, what I target in my music, it's the human emotions. When I make my music, I target a song and mse mwingine akisikia in any place or setup and I feel there's something and I relate to. Kuna vile ngoma, kuna vile ni kama ina touch to me because I touch on human emotions. Kitu kila mtu amepitia.
I want to interject on that one on where creativity actually does come in. One of the things that I think is lacking, I've really looked at different genres and also different regions where Afrofusion comes out of. And in the past, Tanzanians always looked up to Kenyans to learn about music. But now it's different.
It's the other way around.
The other way around. It's Kenyans who are looking towards Tanzanians to learn about music. And creativity actually sometimes doesn't have to be something very complex. You go to the music school and learn about how the chord progressions work and how to write music for you to be creative sometimes. You just have to be very original. You see, in Kenya, I think you can actually find all genres of music, basically, all of them. You can find reggae, rock, hip-hop, some people doing really legit music. And then we have people who just want to create music for the purpose of partying, which is okay. Some people have that, and if that's the reason why they're creating music, then that's good for them. But creativity really comes in from inspiration, and sometimes it does go down, right? It does go down, and you have to allow yourself, allow your creative energy to just flow when it flows. Sometimes just trust the process. True. If I always tell my friends that if I give them a phone and allow them to go to my sound recorder, they'll find some really, really weird voice memos because these ideas come in the morning.
You send them to?
I don't send anyone my voice memos. Okay. They're so weird. If I play them on air, they're going to make memes about it. So, you know, all these ideas just come up. It can be just a single line of lyrics.
You write it down.
You write it down. Exactly. So this is what I do, my creative process, because I'm a bit diversified when it comes to art. I believe that art is just singular. You cannot say that you're confined in creative writing and that's all about you. You can actually venture into writing lyrics. If you're expressing your art in a particular way, that's it. What matters is not how you're expressing it, but the art itself that you're expressing. So the rest of it is just tools. So the creativity comes from where you don't let any idea go to waste. You have no idea that that could actually be the best one. And so with my diversity, when I wake up in the morning, a silly tune comes up in my mind, and I say, okay, yikes, let me do this. I'm going to whistle it into my voice memo. Then after I'm done doing the whistling of the melody in there, I have this software I've been using on my phone since 2014. It's called Ensemble Composer. So it has all these piano notes. Just make sure to compose just that one single line of melody. I might forget about it today or for a few days, and then it will come back. So creativity is something that comes up from your own originality, ideas that you don't let go.
And just to add on that, and that's actually also the same process I'd say for me as an artist I go through when I'm writing my lyrics. Because
you also record?
No, I don't record. Okay. I write them down because the lyrics zinakuja kwa kichwa. And then you have to write it down. Ama ukika zitapotea. Unaona saa zingine utakaanga hivi, you're in a certain situation, uconnect hivi na hivi usikia line fulani kamekama kwa na hii line ni noma. Lakini haiko complete. For it to snap, lazima we polish up. So you write it down. Na iandika mahali kwa drafts. Naachana nayo, nakaka hivi na nini hivi na kangine kanakam. Nayandika the same way.
Totally different idea.
Yes, a totally different idea, different times, different setups. And then when you are like in the process of writing a certain song, unapata, you can take from this, una realize, ngoja hii na hii ukiongeza hivi, upolish hivi kiasi kanaingia vizuri. And that's what you do. You record every lyric that comes to you, and then in the process of making a song, una realize you're just attaching from zile zenye ukiandika.
So shortly, let me just add this one. Very shortly, you see, it's all across all spectrums of creativity. I mentioned 3D modeling and animation, and sometimes you might actually just be walking around town and you're like, okay, let me just make a 3D model of a bug, for instance, or a car, for instance. And then I have to know geometrically how this shape is really formed. And I might actually not even be able to sit down and start making it because I'm walking on the road. I cannot pull up my phone or my laptop and start working on it. So then I will be envisioning that while I'm working towards, or I'm going to. And I'll make sure that even if I've got other things I've got to do in the course of that day, firstly, I've got to get that sketch on paper at least, or on the 3D software, then I'll come back to it later. And you might actually realize that while working on a future project or another project that's totally unrelated, this idea comes up to mind and it becomes your next project.
And you fuse it with you can even fuse it with your next project.
You can do that, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know, Timothy, do you have the, I want us to take a look at your 3D clips. Are you ready? Okay, so once they're ready, we will take a look at that. Now, moving forward, we are talking about the digital space. You use, okay, we need to know how can we use the digital space to come up with all these ideas. You've said you can be moving around, walking, or even asleep, and then something hits you. Yes, now. So, does the digital space also play a role when it comes to coming up with ideas and even keeping a track record of everything before you start working on them on the actual piece of work? For you, BmixxKE, how does it work for you?
Well, I'd say it definitely works. Why? Because every time your lyric can hit, nitakwanga, maybe I'm just walking in the street. The only way I can record that idea is through a digital app, and that I use Docs. Docs, I can access it from anywhere, anytime, through any device. Unaona? I can access it anywhere, anytime, through any device, as long as nime sign in to my Gmail app. Unaona? And utapata nitaka hivi nikiwa labda nilikuanga niko kwa njia nikienda kwa mati nikapata hiyo story ikakaa ikanihit, maybe nikianza kuipolish up, I was going through on my laptop, niko na the docs na access, nikiandika, maybe I was going through a song, I realized I just do it on the app. And then another way digital space comes in, I'd say also, for me nimekuwa nikichukua Instagram as a kind of my storage of the things nimekuwa nikifanya. In the process of documenting my journey, unaona? I document like every process of mali nimepitia. Let's say I was making this song, ndakuja nionyeshe behind the scenes nikiwa kwa studio, wenye tulikuanga tukiwa na producer, tukiwa tuna record how the vibe was. Nita document nikienda perform, I'll have clips during that performance zenye wase wanaweza ona after wenye wakuwa wanakuja wanaweza ona, and then you document it. It's like a documentation. But now, for me, I take it as a space.
But no, I love the fact that we are saying always keep a track record of every step you make.
Yes.
Is that so?
True.
And we need to take advantage of the digital space and the apps that are there. We are, for the record, we are not promoting any particular brand. We are just saying these are what we use.
These are the tools that we use.
These are the tools we use, and you can use them from home, if at all you are a creative. Yeah. Right?
You know, he mentioned Docs. I don't use Docs. I mean, there's so many options that you can find online. And sometimes I will actually be working on my phone, and I will show someone something on my phone, and they'll ask me, well, are you serious? An Android phone can actually do that? And I'm like, yeah, it does, it can. And they ask me, how did you come across such an application? You've had such an experience.
Yes.
And the thing is, my answer to them is always just, if you want to be able to do something, it's
your interest.
Your interests.
Inakupeleka tu.
Exactly.
You find yourself looking for that app. Utaipata tu kiitafuta, and then you're going to find it across your adventures.
Various many platforms. So I use different applications for writing my notes. Some of them actually, I prefer the ones that my work will be backed up online. Even if I lose my phone, I'm still going to have that work backed up online. And also, for me, my digital space really just revolves around getting only inspiration and networking. For me, actually, networking is the bigger aspects that I use social media for.
Before you get there,
Yeah.
that is why we will come there.
Okay.
Let's take a look at this particular 3D animation from Abdul. You call it, how do you call it, Razaki?
Razaki 3D.
Razaki 3D. It's coming up on your screen.
What you're looking at, I mean, it's a very interesting one. That is a Mercedes CLS 350. I modeled it in, it's a 2015 model. So what you're looking at, I'm just modeling the gizmos on the dashboard.
This is what part of the
This
car
is actually the stereo, the radio section in the dashboard.
Okay. So these are.
So we have the buttons and the knobs.
It's a 3D model of the car.
Yeah, it's a 3D model of the car. I'm working on a section of the dashboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you created every part.
Every part, the steering wheels, all that. But I didn't work on the engine. It would have been really hectic.
It would have been crazy.
It would have been crazy.
It would have been. It would have been crazy. The engine, and
because the details is you have to have. You have to look into the car.
Yeah.
The beats, the interest. The interest kama uko nayo inakupeleka. It moves you for passion.
Exactly. And you look at that car. Actually, you can see the doors have been separated.
I wish it appeared on your screen. Yes, there now. If you look at that, so that is the exterior. That's the exterior and interior of the car.
That's the exterior and interior.
Were you googling to know how the car looks like?
So sometimes I'll give you a very, very funny scenario. First of all, I look for the blueprints online, and then it's very easy just modeling and tracing around the blueprints. But what it takes is patience, because I modeled Ford Mustang GT500 from the year 2020. That one took me a total of 24 hours to model, and it sounds insane, but it isn't really, because it's all about your curiosity and your patience to get there.
So let me, even as you proceed,
yeah,
it's all about being creative, and I love that.
Yeah.
Is it self-taught?
This is entirely self-taught. All of it. It's entirely self-taught. Let me give you that funny experience I was mentioning. You see, me and my brother, we draw portraits. We've been doing that since 2001. And sometimes I would want to draw parts of the body that I cannot copy anywhere, and there is no picture to actually make reference from.
And of course, even as you talk, I know the at the end of this particular video, we will see the end, Cindy.
Yeah, you actually see the end.
The end product.
Yes.
So that clip will be playing on the background as we have this conversation. I want to see how this thing will end.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it will take. Timothy, how long is this clip?
This one's a long one, actually. It's a time lapse, but it's long. This is a 17-minute video. It's going to be very long. I think if they can forward it, it'll really come in handy.
Timo, udaweka dopo kwa TV, you forward it
or even a bunch of pictures can be more helpful than $40. I mean, he'll just figure it out.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. But I'm seeing it's already coming into shape.
Yeah, it's coming into shape. I modeled the trunk. There is the spare tire somewhere inside there. Also, the little globs inside of the car.
That is spare tire.
The windscard,
the finesse comes in the details.
It does come in the details.
It's in the details.
Exactly.
So you're saying that you and your brother...
We draw pictures of humans, portraits, and sometimes I might want to draw the ear and have no image to make reference from. So what I will do in order to come up with a very well-drawn ear, I will actually just touch my ear and I'll just go around and feel the shape of my ear, and then I will draw it and I'll be like, okay, wait, does it feel like the curvature is like that? Now I'll actually keep on correcting it while making reference from my ear, because it's the closest reference that we have here. And also for this one, some of the images you'll actually realize from the blueprints I've got don't show you as much as you need on that car. For instance, the steering wheel and all that. So you have to look for the headroom, the leg room, and the chest space between the head and the steering wheel. Basically, it's all about working by feel and looking for the details, and that's how you get your inspiration.
And someone may wonder what is the value of doing something like this?
These ones are actually sold.
Definitely.
You go to online sources and you sell these ones actually.
These things are sold.
You sell these things. I mean, if you want to crash a car and you don't want to injure your pockets, you definitely buy that one.
What do you mean if you want to crash? Are you talking about, so you're talking about movies?
Yeah, in the movie, if you want to crash a Mercedes CLS, there it is actually.
There it is. Where is it? Imepotea. Bring it back kidogo. So this is
The
something that can be used
yes,
for a movie.
exactly.
So the cars we see on TV blowing up.
Blowing up, even car
My
adverts.
3D edits,
Yeah.
graphics, heavy graphics. Ukionanga kina Marvel, kina DC, heavy graphics.
Heavy graphics. And actually, let me mention this. So you see, so many times people don't really realize how much goes into movies from digital graphics and digital imagery. Some movies you actually see things happening and you actually just wonder, how did they crash that car, or what happened really. You actually think that this is actually a car that's been crashed, and sometimes they just use 3D models. Exactly.
Every detail.
Pieces of land
They recreate
sinking.
it like from every detail. Unona, they all wanna create every part of the details.
Yeah.
I will mention a few movies that you've watched. For instance, if you've watched Terminator, I'm sure everyone.
Yes, I've watched Terminator.
Terminator.
Definitely.
Yeah, there is something called the digi doubles, which is a digital double of an existing human being. So, someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting against another cyborg that looks exactly like him will actually be a digi double of himself that has been created. And people use mock-up suits. Stunt artists actually use mock-up suits in order to make sure that that digidouble is actually put on top of him on the makeup, not on the mock-up suit, basically. So, yeah, 3D really has so much silence going on from people who actually don't realize it does happen. But then it's not really something that has to be noticed it's happening.
They see the end product.
The end product is what
the
matters.
magic.
Yeah.
I want
They
us
just
to
see
take
the magic. They don't know the details behind it.
Yeah.
I want us to take a short break, but I wish I could see the end product of that particular car.
Yeah.
But let's take a break and then we'll continue with this. We are talking about being creative. I hope you're learning something. We'll be back in a bit. This is Power Talk. Thank you so much for sticking with us, and we proceed with this conversation. Timothy, I want you to bring up the final product of that 3D model that Abdul was working on, and then we get to see how it looks like. For someone who wants to take a look at your pieces of work, where can they get them?
There are actually a number of them. Mostly I post my 3D models on YouTube. That's where they can actually see the time-lapse videos of my creations. So they can find it on YouTube on Razaki 3D. And also on TikTok, I place a few of them there. That's Razaki Warren on TikTok. Basically, that's where it is. And a little bit on Instagram as well. That's @officialrazaki.
BmixxKE,
Yes.
let me come to you. And I want you to talk to me about issues concerning branding. Okay?
Okay.
Now, for creatives, you always talk about matters concerning music, and you're saying, you know what, position yourself well. It's all about branding. Yeah. What's your advice to Kenyan youths in terms of how we brand our creatives and how we make ourselves sell out there? And Razaki, you also talk about the same thing.
Yeah.
You deal with the creatives. How do you brand yourself so that you can be able to be seen out there by all Kenyans?
Yeah.
BmixxKE.
Well, for me, in the process of branding my music, I'll go for something that is, first of all, you have to go for quality. Lazima ikuwe ni kitu yenye iko inaweza cheza on an international level. No, that's the goal. You have to have something that is quality, first of all. Alafu kitu yenye iko, it's not just like when you're making a video, it's not just a song. It's not just a music video. It has an element to it. Maybe kuna story going on in the video. Maybe kuna certain aspect of an emotion najaribu ku bring to your attention.
Yeah.
So in the process of branding, you have to like, not that you have to, but tasema, as an artist, ukitaka kujibrand, you have to have like message you're trying to pass, like a mission you're trying to pass across. You have to know what's your mission with your music. Ndo uweze kujua how you're going to brand yourself. You have to know the ABCs. Like in the process for me, I'm creating I'm about to drop an album. That album, it's like a universe in itself. It's a storyline. Ile design yenye ukisikiza from the very first song to the very last song, bila kuruka, bila skips, uta realize it's a story.
And of course, Timothy, even as you talk about this, let's take a look at some of the pieces of work you're doing. Okay, Timothy, do you have them ready? Now, look at that. You can also bring it up on our end here. So, what is this?
That is an animation video done by that Kenyan artist. Currently, anafanya, I think, ako team ya kina Kagwe. Also, I animate Kagwe's animation video Ponki na ile had the band.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Timothy. I can see it on my end now.
I animate Nyashinsky's and had the band animation video, and it was that Kenyan artist. This is Fireburn. Fireburn, in the storyline, naongelea about the hero. Na utakuja kuona venye the hero ana come through the music. Inaanzanga nikiona sikiza tu ngoma, lakini una realize my microphone ziko zinaanza kuwaka moto. Okay. Pole pole kama like from the music naanza kukua na some sort of element of power inaningilia through the music. And eventually you're going to see the hero. Ikona ka storyline kake.
So it's a full, it's like a cartoon episode?
It's like a cartoon episode in the album. That's and the whole aspect.
Timothy, another animation.
Yes.
See cartoon.
Yes, it's animation.
Animation.
Yeah. And the whole aspect for Fireburn is to spread positive messages. No matter utangalia the vibrant colors ndo zinatumika sana sana. You know, vibrant colors portray a positive feel. Like a happy mood utatumia orange na yellow. That's what Fireburn is. It's a positive vibe, to spread a positive vibe. Nikikwambia Fireburn, nakwambia let's like your passion burn. Umeona pole pole the guy has progressed from being akiwa anatembea na earphones akakuja akakuwa na powers, aka strop a robber, and then the villain anatokea. And then always kuna kuangana kala ka inspiration kadem kakakuja. Yeah. Ati boys amejama akakuwa more inspired. Unaona? Akachochwa akakuwa more energized.
Ndio akashinda. Now
this is in the album, this is the hero. In the whole album, ukisikiza from the very first song.
And you rescue the lady.
And I rescue the lady.
You get the lady. I'm seeing already, and then you buy her some flowers.
Flower.
Oh, yeah.
And the next song after this, inaitwa Body Fine. Sasa inakuwa, ikiprogress mimi with the lady. Unaona? Before this was ROJ. ROJ ni situation mali tulikuwa it's like after a breakup, your boys anakuja na kutoka kwa room. Anakuambia bro, wezi shinda kwa hao ati umeboeka nini. Toka nje. You go, you have fun, tunacheza kadi, give and take. It's a rap between me and the guy. Kunitoa kwa ile space ya that bad vibe, bad energy after a breakup. Unaona, a breakup ni kitu,
it's painful, yeah.
Ni kitu painful na ni kitu, it's a human experience. As you grow older utapata umepiti hiyo experience. I think almost everybody akona hiyo experience of a breakup.
So Fireburn is your music.
Yes.
And then the animation was done. The name of that is called
that Kenyan artist.
That Kenyan. So you see, when you're talking, I was saying.
Size I'm a rebrand to Backbench Animations, by the way.
Oh.
Yes, I'm a rebrand.
Okay, I'm a rebrand.
Yes, to Backbench Animations.
Razaki, what do you think about this?
I like this, and I like the way the storytelling is done. Firstly, the way you can see.
And then kuna some aspects of humor. Unaona kama pameweka maji to censor it, but unajua ukisema maji si maji.
Ni ile watu wanaitaga maji uzima.
Yeah, maji uzima.
But I like the way the story is actually told, because
I wish tungeweza kuisikia, musikie the vibe.
I don't know, because of copyrights, we will just leave it out.
It's okay.
But if you want to take a look at this video, go to YouTube. Sinio?
Yes. Inaitwa Fireburn by BmixxKE.
Yes.
Go check it out.
Go check it out on YouTube. Yes.
I like this creation kwa sababu right now atuski we can't hear the words, but we can actually tell what's going on. Maybe we're getting a totally different meaning, but it's driving the story very accurately.
Yeah.
And the way the character's already portrayed, once he comes on screen, I'm like, this guy is gonna do something that I need to really pay attention to. I can already feel like I want to predict kila atafanya.
Yes.
And the best thing about good quality art ni when you see that thing, you actually feel tempted to predict what's going to happen. You don't feel like, oh, let me just say that for the sake of it. Yeah.
Yes, you get drawn into the story because story unaona the character falling from the point where anaanza kisikiza the music nampea sort of like powers, anaenda ajui until akuja kurealize pole haya hii music kuna venye inanipea sort of powers. Yeah.
I want to read a question here, and it's by God's grace that I managed to check my inbox. Someone has sent me a message here, and this person goes by the name, let me get it. These are, yeah, it's called Spark Teens. So Spark Teens, thank you so much for tuning in. And I will give you that I will read your message. You must say, hi, naitwa Spark Teens. Because can you kindly ask BmixxKE if he does collabos? And yeye mwenyewe anauliza collabo ya Gengeton. He is an upcoming artist.
Currently,
do you do collabos?
Yes, I do. But at the moment, no. Why? Because I'm in the middle of an album rollout.
Right.
Now, for me, I get so much into the storytelling to the point where sitaki kuanza kuinterfere my thought process. Unaona? Because the moment nitachukua project, mimi sitachukua project that you expect nitakurushia kesho. I take it, nitaenda nisikize beat. I take my time kusikiza beat, ni realize hii beat iko na shimo hii na hii na hii.
Because you need something good, you must take time with it.
I take my time with the music. Nita take time yangu na the beat. Utapata nikitembea tu, but I have the instrumental on repeat for a whole ass while. Nikibuild and before I start writing, I have to know ni nini naandika na ni story gani napeana na inaenda wapi.
Wonderful.
Inaenda wapi. Otherwise, sitaweza kuiandika. I have to know hii story ni gani na inaenda wapi. What kind of message am I trying to drive across? So in the process of taking that time and all that, saizi swezi take your time. I'm currently tied, hands tied. But yes, I do take collabos and I have a rate card. Yes,
nice.
Yes, nice. I have a rate card.
Si bure, bravo.
Si bure.
Si bure.
I have a rate card. Unaweza ni motivate nitoke from my album procedure, ni take time, ni come, I do the music for you.
Yeah.
One thing that I love is we need to take time to work on our things.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to take time to work on our things, and I love that. I love that. Now let's come back to the conversation, and of course I will sample more of your feedback as we continue with this conversation. Keep commenting. Head over to our Facebook page. Remember to check us on Facebook, Y254. You'll find our post there. Drop your questions right there. Razak,
yeah.
On you, concerning matters concerning branding, still we are talking about that aspect of branding yourself and selling and selling your product or showcasing your work. How do you do it?
For me, it had been a little bit of a challenge because I do several things and all of them should not really mix up and make someone feel confused when they're looking for it. And they all have different kinds of audiences. For instance, 3D animations. You cannot say, I'm going to look for a music fan and tell them, hey, you know what, I do 3D modeling as well. That's really going to throw them off as well. And it's a very niche area in the film industry as well.
Yes, you have to find your niche.
Yeah, you have to find your niche.
Kila art has its niche. You have to find your people.
Yeah.
Yes. So even if you're doing different things,
you have your people. You find your people. You have to find your people for that specific art. And you don't have to like find them existing somewhere already. You you can unaweza kuza watu wako, unaweza like you can start growing your people. Unacheki, you can start growing your fan base,
audience,
your audience. Like for me, it's my nation, BmixxKE Nation.
BmixxNation,
Yes.
BmixxNation.
Yes.
Now, for me, it's different. I have my main account on my Instagram, which I just have been posting generally, and I wouldn't call that my brand thingy because it has everything that I've been doing all over the place. So I've decided for a while now to separate my different brands in different accounts, and I'm pushing those ones far much more than my personal Instagram account because I want all the attention to go there. So because I mentioned earlier, I do film scores as well. So I've created an Instagram account which basically just focuses on only that.
I'm very interested in that one because I need that
Yeah.
film score for the album I'm working on, the outro. It's not just a normal beat. What I need is actually a film score.
A film score for the
Yes.
rest of that. Exactly.
Yeah, because when you listen to the whole story, ikona that epic build-up, and the outro is the last bit. Hata ukisikiza one of the songs, you realize ikona some elements of a film score. Ni kama movie. Kuna sort of movie element in my music.
For someone who doesn't understand what a film score is, can you?
So a film score is basically music that's used on a movie to set the mood for various scenes and various interactions that the characters are having.
Music that is used on a movie.
On a movie.
Yeah.
That's a film score.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there is a movie theme, which is actually the music that the movie should be identified by. There are various examples that I think it might take a while to mention, but I'll just mention one. There is this film score that if you hear, you'll actually just see that movie.
Yes, I think Pirates of the Caribbean has a very specific...
It has a very specific film score, and it's one of my
Yeah.
favorite ones.
Zimmerman.
Yeah.
The aspect of just knowing that
Unasikiza that score,
when you
unajua
hear a
this is
song,
this
Yeah.
movie.
you remember a particular movie.
You remember that movie. Now that's the movie theme, but now scores are for setting moods for various scenes. So
Like the climax of the scene, when there's a
emotional
low, there's a low
scenes,
moment.
somber scenes.
Kale kana cheza
Exactly.
kwa background kanasikia.
Yeah.
Ni kama nataka ina add some element to it.
And then there is one thing that's very, very identifiable about film scores. Before I mention that, let me just mention one more thing with regards to branding on the film score perspective of things. On my film score perspective of things, I have this Instagram account that's basically for driving traffic towards the film score products and other BGMs that I make for YouTube channels and YouTubers as well. So that is Abdulrazak on Instagram. That's WARRENRAZAK without any underscore. There is no underscore, there is no space. It's just Abdulrazak is one word. And it's also available on my SoundCloud. You can check out Abdulrazak on SoundCloud. That's where you can also find a few samples that I've made and a few instrumentals that I've actually sold to people. So I'm focusing on building that brand specifically as itself without looking at any other way that it's going to mix up with the 3D modeling and other animation stuff. Now, the way to identify a film score is you will always hear things like trumpets inside of them, heavy drums inside of them, violins and oboes and flutes, and so many of them. 16 instruments, we're not going to mention all of them.
Oh yeah, there can be so many.
There's so many, yeah.
Yeah, actually, so for someone who doesn't, let me clarify or simplify that particular whatever Abdullah said. When you watch a movie, at a particular scene, the music will change.
Yeah.
It can be an upbeat music.
Yeah.
And then if you figure that romantic part of the movie,
change.
it changes again
to something slow,
to
something.
It can be a known song.
Yes.
And then when the movie ends, the credits,
Kuna
another song plays
another one.
again.
And then kuna ile place ya climatic, kuna kale ka climatic, maybe the hero and the villain are fighting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ako hapo just before the deciding factor.
I just wish, but I know it might not happen, but I would really like for people to go to my SoundCloud, because that's where actually I have a particular style on my scores. When it starts, it has a very, very low kind of mood,
And then it start building up.
it builds up
Pole
and builds
pole,
up
pole pole.
gently,
And then una realize all of a sudden
Yeah.
umetoka huko ukikuja kusikiza huko na realize tuko huku.
I actually
And guys never realize how
exactly.
they got here. They were
Yes.
like, but
Yeah.
how did we get here? That's
This is
Now
what
that's the
I do.
thing.
Exactly. So I start my signature, because I have signature instruments. I draw my inspiration from a gentleman by the name Hans Zimmer. Everyone who
Zimmerman.
exactly
Yes.
Hans Zimmer.
Zimmerman.
So many people
He's a very dope
Yeah.
movie score.
he composed for Pirates of the Caribbean. He
Yes.
composed for Inception and
I think Superman.
yeah, Man of Steel,
Man of
Superman.
Steel.
He also
Man of
composed
Steel.
that one as
Man
well.
Man of Steel, yeah.
Now, I have a signature of instruments that I like to use for my film scores. I use flutes and pianos and harps at the start. Not in that combination. Sometimes I drop the piano, sometimes I drop the harp.
Yeah, you play around with them.
Yeah, but the flute is always key when I'm starting my scores. Not all of them. It can be really boring to have one style all the way. But I have...
You have to diversify it.
You have to diversify. So I start very gently, the first 30 seconds, just bringing you in and you're feeling very emotional about it. And then I strike you with drums, like really heavy drums.
I see your 3D has been brought back. This is another video, Timothy, isn't it?
Now, yeah, this is that Mercedes that I was modeling.
This is the other Mercedes that you
That's
modeled.
the Mercedes. And you can see, look at that.
Okay.
So let me tell you a little bit about this model. You can see it's not really textured. I have a picture. I'm not sure it's available right now to the director, but that picture has this car which is fully textured and its environment as well.
The final
draft of this, actually. Especially, I have an image. My laptop wallpaper is an image of this car on the last frame when the doors are open up. Now, I made my own rig for this, the animation rig. And an animation rig is basically some kind of bones and meshes.
Like the skeleton.
The skeleton, yeah. Thank you for the help. Actually, it's the skeleton.
The skeleton.
BmixxKE.
Yes.
The next time you make an animation,
Yeah.
get these graphics.
I don't know. Tutafanya 3D animation for one of the videos. Sasa.
Exactly.
Yes.
Get a
The-
3D animation.
The screen has just disappeared, but I wanted to show you something on the screen on that video.
On that same video.
Exactly. There
Okay.
is.
Timothy, bring it up.
So you can see there, it's written Razaki Car Rig Pro.
Yeah.
I'm actually developing this add-on for the software, and we're going to be selling it soon. So basically, it's a rig that's used to animate the car without losing the shape.
I want us to go to Facebook. Timothy, let's bring it up now. Let's take a look at what people are saying on our Facebook platforms. Y254 is the place on Facebook. Ras Bashir, Wero Busia, anasema I'm watching from live out of 40 Jesus Busia. Asante sana Waweru Gatehi. Positively
To inspire.
to inspire. We can't use reused tactics to sort out today and tomorrow's problems.
Yes.
Let's stop treadmill attempts to SDGs for all, SDG 4, quality education. Asante sana. We are talking about getting knowledge out.
Yes, you have to be creative in the way you're presenting your art. Iwezi kuwa
Get
the same.
education, yeah.
Iwezi kuwa the same way. You have to be creative.
This is Pablo, anasema getting updated live from Katsombero. Asante, hapa ndo updates zinapatikana my brother. Alex wa Jamii Pishoni anasema tuned in. Jamii Executive Gardens Moya also tuned in, represented here. Miguu ya you have a funny name. Miguu ya Nyandaro flyover confirmed fire. Asante sana. Naona Jora Matola na kuona anasema bravo. Gulf Nova anasema BmixxKE, we see you. Burudi nyuma kidogo hapo. Umepotea kidogo. Yes, thank you. Sorry for that. BmixxKE, we see you. Fire.
Gulf Nova.
Gulf Nova. Unamjua jamaa? Anakugotea hapo.
And nimegoteka sana. Thank you very much.
Asante
Make sure you go
sana.
and check out and subscribe. DM me pale Instagram, we get to know each other pia.
Yeah. So that is Gulf. Kuna comment ingine hapo ya mwisho ambayo sijasoma ama is that
Vincent
Ogutu.
Sama keep it locked.
Sema locked. Asante sana
Locked.
Vincent.
Awesome.
Huh?
Yeah.
Tunashukuru. Yeah, keep talking to us. I love the engagement.
I'm also enjoying this discussion, and I think we should actually get some projects going. And me and BmixxKE, we're actually gonna do something with
We
animation.
definitely have to do something.
Definitely.
Because the 3D designs, the
film scores.
The film scores. Hey, bro. Definitely have to do something.
Definitely.
I want us to touch on a few things, and I'm looking at a conversation concerning how we can be able to get opportunities out there. Because many youth are saying there are no opportunities. And this is a big challenge.
Yeah.
They want to, one, start, but they don't have, they're saying, I don't have any way of starting. If it is music, I don't have a way of starting. If it is creating 3D,
Yeah.
I don't have a way of starting. What are some of the opportunities that we can take advantage of that are pre-existing kwa yule Kenyan youth ambaye anawatch leo, that they can take advantage of to either start, sustain, or maintain
To
their,
bust out.
Well,
Yeah.
for the artist, naweza sema, you have to start with what you have. Start with what you have to create what you can at the moment. Do your best with what you have. And then when you have better, when you know better, do better.
Exactly.
So, unapatanga huyo msanii before aanze anakuanga na kwa friends tu wake bado labda mmoja wao ni producer. You don't have to go so far. Anza na huyo. Go to that guy mwenye mmekonga mkijuana ni best yako kwa contact list yako. Go record something. Put something out there. Ile design you can send people to see something you've done. Keep on doing it. Every time, like, what I'd advise for, like, especially for upcoming artists when you hajawai release something, work on singles. Unaona? Do a single, market it and promote it in as much as you can. Na si lazima tu uruke hadi kwa roof. No, just share it through your contacts. Hakikisha kila mtu kwa contact list yako anajua so and so has done a music ame-release.
Exactly.
Wacha waende wacheki. Na seti ni ile kuwa spam kila time. Enyewe saa zingine wasanii we share links too much, but si lazima kuna washinda ukiwatumia the same thing every time. Kila unajua you have to be creative about it. Unaona sasa as an artist utaenda udrop your song and then maybe start a challenge. Tell your fans, maybe you can try rap this part, or maybe send me a clip of your video vibing to my music, to this music, and then you share it. And then you share when you wanna engage na wewe pale. You have to, and then you have to post it everywhere. You have to post it Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere maliuko. Waki engage, repost.
And I love what you're saying is that start your own single.
Yes.
I would like to interject on that and actually build up on the points that he's made. You see, start anywhere. Start where you are, or start with what you have. That's basically what I can say. But there is actually far much more than that. And I think one of the ways in which artists from whichever field somehow get to be frustrated and fail to blow up is because they don't know what's the next step after they've started. And some of them don't even know what's the first step. So this is a point where I will actually say, so for an artist out there, they can actually hit me up on my Instagram. That is Abdulrazak. For someone who's actually interested in producing music and you've never started, I would like us to go this journey together, where you can actually just hit me up on my Instagram, my DM, and I'm actually going to respond to all of them, even if they're going to be thousands. I sleep at 3 a.m., so we can start from there. Now, that's going to be very important, because I would like to take this journey with artists who are upcoming and capitalize on opportunities that are actually in the air. For those who cannot reach me, you can actually go to Studio Mashinani and book recording sessions. Get yourself to do that. And there are so many Studio Mashinanis. It's an initiative that was started in 2017, and it's quite surprising that so many people have not heard about it. And I think it's time that artists who want to come up with singles get to do that. And then hit me up, hit BmixxKE up, and then we can actually see how to market and push it forward. I think that's one of some very solid
also just to add on it, Ulkoma mention, especially for new and upcoming artists, maybe they don't know what to do next. I'd advise first you start with a single, you market it to the extent of your reach, and then you build up on that. How do you build up on that? You tell them to do the challenge. They do the challenge.
That is taking advantage of the digital space.
No, that's taking advantage of digital space. Unaambia say you have your phone. And then you have to have, you know, saizi, any artist can distribute the song to Spotify, Deezer, Boomplay, all the rest. You just
without
need a
intermediaries.
Without you need a distributor, that's the thing. And the distributor seem to, It's a site. You go, log in, create an account, distribute. Ukieka hapo, you tell guys your song is on Instagram, make a post with it.
Promote your content.
Promote in different ways. Kwa Spotify, nini. You tell them, and then after they've done the single, the next thing unaambia. You know, as an artist, first and the single, promote it as much as you can. Drop another next single, promote it as much as you can. Go to the next single, promote it, and then keep on doing it consistently. And then in the process of it, unafanya collabos, performances. You look for interviews and maybe mentions on blogs because they also build up on you.
From one of your songs, Fire Burn. Keep the fire burning, right?
Yes, and then you can also have merchandise like me.
Yeah.
Unaona sasa kama hii ni merchandise ya BmixxKE Nation.
Yeah.
Anytime say hata kama chiki, this is the character that was actually in Fire Burn.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah.
And this is another way of creating money for artists.
All right. Time is not on our side. So I want us to wrap it up. Your final word in 30 seconds. And then we will take a look at your music. Okay. Final word, Abdul, as we wrap it up to Kenyan youth watching you. 30 seconds.
30 seconds, let me start. So, firstly, if you want to get into music or any kind of art, use social media to actually boost it. And I will see very many people using social media to just post pictures of where they went to eat and all that, all about their lives. Don't do that. You have no business posting your private life in your social media if it's not really helping you get anything, if you're not a celebrity. Don't do that. Don't fake it. The best thing to use is social media. Use it to interact with people, use it to connect with people, and then push out your work. You're on social media to only sell your work.
All right.
Yeah.
And BmixxKE, I'll wrap it up with you. Final word now when I kupatia 10 seconds up with V15.
I'd say this to any upcoming artist out there. Start, keep going.
All right.
Keep going, and all we do is try. Just keep on going. Start, keep going.
Right. Can you give me just a freestyle rap, kidogo?
Okay.
It's
okay. Let's see. Right now I'm pacing. Chasing, can stand in the seat. I practically know I'm aiming at and them I can miss. See, I only got 2 options and they both for the win. And we can drop the facade, there was no option to quit. Damn, nerve-wracking and almost nerve-wracking. Whether you're thinking it's the same or not, it really don't matter. I've been through a lot of, and that it really don't. When it comes to chasing dreams, then it really does.
You're vibing with it.
I'm vibing with it, man.
You have a particular feather that we do not know about. Show it to us one day.
I don't know. And that is what brings us to a close on this conversation on being creative. I hope you've learned something and you've been inspired. Start something. Start from somewhere. You can be able to use the digital space that is there for you to be able to make something good for yourself. Okay? My name is Aguko. It has been a pleasure being with you today. A big thanks to Abdulrazak. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you very much.
And BmixxKE, asante sana.
Yes.
And of course, a big thanks to everybody that ensured this show was a success. We shall take I don't know, Timothy, will you play his song? Okay, all right. Check out his song after this show. This is Power Talk.
Yes, and ensure you go subscribe and watch out for the album coming soon.
Yes, asante sana. Good night, everybody.